Hi, and welcome to Live with Connie. Today, my guest star is Spring, and her channel is Spring, the Fiber Enthusiast. And for those watching on replay, I want to welcome you. And please leave a comment to let us know that you're watching on replay. And feel free to answer any questions in the comments that we ask on today's live. And let's see, we have Melissa here. Hi, Melissa. How are you doing today? And
Hi, Melissa.
What are you currently working on? It's okay. It happens. It's like you think someone's finished talking, and you go to talk, and they start going. You're like, "Oops." So, how is your day going today, Spring?
I'm doing pretty good. A little bit of happy mail sent out, so that is always a good thing. And everybody's taken care of. So I sat down to do this and work on my project. That's about it. So nice and easy morning. How about you?
Awesome. I, I've worked on my crochet hooded poncho some today, and I plan to do more of that this afternoon.
Yeah,
I'm
wonderful.
hoping I'm hoping I can at least get the hood finished crocheted this week. I may
Mm-hmm.
not get the top sewn, and that way I'll actually get it finished next week.
Right.
Um, it's like this week I was hoping to have gotten more done on it,
Mm-hmm.
but I got busy doing things for my channel, and it took me longer to get my rows on my temperature blanket done.
Oh,
So so
I know
hopefully
about
I'll get it
that.
done soon.
I know about the temperature blanket thing. I just finished mine from 2017. Oh well.
But it's like sometimes it just feels like you don't have enough time to get all your crocheting and knitting done.
Yep. Way too many patterns in the fire.
Yeah, but it's like there's so many things I want to make, and I'm just like, okay.
Yep.
And I'm trying to get all the goals that I had made for this year done by the end of the year.
Uh-huh.
So after I finish the poncho, then I have one more left, which is the peppermint blanket.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm actually going to be alternating working on that with another project, which I'm going to leave y'all in suspense until tomorrow on my Crochet Tuesday video.
Yay. We like that.
So, some people know what I'm plotting. I
Uh-huh.
told some of the ones that I talk to on a regular basis
Mm-hmm.
about this, but let's see. Kaylina's here. Hi, Kaylina. How are you doing today? And what are you currently working on? Yeah. Give it a little. Give it a little more time for some more people to show up, and then I'll let you tell everyone about yourself and all.
Okay.
Because there's just a few people right now.
Yeah.
And I forgot to. Normally, before I go live, I usually post it in my Facebook group and on
Mm-hmm.
Instagram and Twitter, and I forgot to today. Oh well.
Such is life.
But yeah. Oh, and also, I should be doing an unboxing video today, later today,
Ooh.
because
Yay.
according to tracking, the giveaway that I won from Melissa is
Mm-hmm.
supposed to come today. It shows it's out for delivery. So
Ooh, how exciting.
I'm all excited because she left like the yarn port a mystery. So I don't know what
Oh,
I'm getting.
that's exciting. That is super exciting.
And let's see, Angela's here. Hi, Angela. How are you today? And she says she's drinking water and working on her daughter's top. Yep, I'm drinking water too.
Coffee.
I haven't had my coffee yet, and I think the coffee pot went off already.
Oh no.
It shut off. So I'm gonna have to
Hmm.
heat it up.
Yeah. It's never the same, but it's doable.
And Kaylina says she's working on too many projects.
Aren't we all?
Yeah, because like I normally have 3 projects going on, and after I finish my poncho and started my other projects, I'm gonna have 4 going on because I'm gonna be working on 2 crochet projects and my temperature blanket and my knitting project.
Oh goodness.
And Melissa says that's me as well, working on multiple projects with coffee in my cup. Yeah, I'm gonna have Starbucks maple pecan
Ooh,
ground coffee.
the maple pecan sounds good. Mm,
I didn't even know they had that flavor, but
sounds
I, I
good.
was I was doing my pickup order online, and I was like, which Starbucks coffee I'm getting, and I saw the maple pecan. I'm like, yes, a new flavor.
Definitely sounds yummy.
And let's see, Bree's here. Hi, Bree. How are you doing today? And Kelly's here too. Hi, Kelly. Okay. I think we have enough people here now that we can get more into everything. So
Okay,
Spring, you want to go ahead and tell everyone about yourself, your channel, and whatever you want to tell them about?
I can. Um, Thank you for having me. Very first and foremost, I greatly appreciate it.
You're
Uh,
welcome.
Thank you everybody in the chat for coming and joining us. Uh, I'm Spring. Spring the Fiber Enthusiast. My name is actually Spring. And the reason I went with the Fiber Enthusiast is because I love to spin yarn. That is like one of my all-time favorite things about fiber all the way around is spinning yarn. So that's kind of why I went with the name, the Fiber Enthusiast. And I'm just a good old girl from the country, been a farmer my entire life. um, I started crocheting when I was roughly 5. My mom taught me how to finger chain, and then it just escalated from there. And after that, I'm self-taught, and I've crocheted all that time, all ever since she taught me that. And I picked up knitting. Well, let me backtrack a step. I picked up spinning on a drop spindle about 5 years ago and played with it for a while. And then I went to teaching myself to knit about 4 years ago. And then I started teaching myself to tat. So I needle tat. And it just, I added on weaving. I weave lots of stuff. And it just kept, it just keeps going. Every time I turn around, I just keep adding something else. My brain is like a sponge, constantly wanting more. So I've played with beading and I've played with different things. The only thing that I see a lot of other crocheters and yarny people doing is the diamond art. I've never done that. So that's something I've never done. Have you?
You mean the diamond painting?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've diamond painted.
Okay. Yeah, I've never done them. They look neat, but I've never done them. Now I do uh picture puzzles and put them on board and frame them and turn them into a picture for the wall, but I've never done any diamond art, diamond painting stuff. But
The
yeah,
di-
I love yarn.
Diamond painting is really easy. It's kind of set up like the patterns like they are for cross stitching, where you
Uh-huh.
have a little symbol for the color,
Mm-hmm.
and you just put
Okay.
the little piece, in the little
Right.
spot, and it has some sticky stuff that makes it stick.
Okay.
It's
I've
not hard.
I've tried to do some what'd you just call that? Uh embroidery, not embroidery,
Cross stitching.
cross stitch. I've tried to do that, and for some reason my brain doesn't get it. And I tried, and I guess it's the stitches, the way that they're done, that I'm not getting. I just haven't like dumped myself into it to do it.
Let's see. We have Gail here, and also Julie, and Elizabeth, and Kelly. And I think that's everyone. Hi, how are y'all doing today? And what are y'all currently working on? Okay, so I guess I'll have you ask the first question. And when you're asking the question, you answer first, and then the other person will answer after.
Okay.
So whenever I ask a question, I answer first, and then you answer.
Okay.
Okay. So go ahead
Okay.
and ask the first question.
Um, when, let me see. What is your favorite stitch, whether it be knit or crochet? Which would be your favorite stitch, group of stitches or stitch? And mine's cables in knitting.
For me, in crochet, it would be the waistcoat stitch.
Ooh.
I really love how it looks like the knitted stitch in knitting.
Mm-hmm.
And for knitting, it would be cables.
Yeah,
I love me some cables.
me too.
And eventually I will finally do a tutorial on cables. I know I said I was gonna try to get started on it yesterday, and I
Mm-hmm.
didn't get to it, but I'm really, really, really gonna try to get to it this week. Yeah, and it's like, I've been saying that for way too long. I'm like, I gotta do that tutorial. I got to.
Yeah,
But
it's like anything else. It just keeps adding and adding and adding, and eventually it's like, ah.
let's see. Kelly says she loves the fan stitch and the waffle stitch. I've never done the fan stitch, but I have done the waffle stitch, and I like the waffle stitch.
Yeah.
Which I will be starting to learn some new stitches soon. So
Yeah. Very good.
let's see. Bree says, I only crochet, but my favorite is a shell. Always classic, clean, and useful.
Oh.
And there was one beanie I had crocheted, which had the shell stitch a little in it.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't done a lot with the shell stitch yet.
I've done a lot of shells, but I guess it's kind of like a granny to me because you're only working, in the center of the shell
Mhm.
mostly every row. So it's kind of in a sense to me it's like the granny. You're only working in that one little spot.
Where I haven't been crocheting quite a year yet, so I
Oh, really?
still have a lot to learn.
Well, I think you're doing amazing.
Thank you. Let's see. Angela says single stitch and knitting the knit and purl stitch. And Kelly says she cannot tell you about knit stitches because it's been a long time since she's picked up the needles. But
Oh,
for the most part with knitting, it's mostly just knit and pearls. I mean,
yeah.
you have a few other little stitches like yarn overs, knit two together, make one, but majority is knit and pearls. And then of
Mm-hmm.
course, there's color work and cables.
Right.
And let's see, Laura Lee's here. Hi, Laura Lee. How are you doing today? Oh, and one thing too, if any of y'all know of any channels that could use a shout out for my Shout Out Thursday video, please let me know. Or like, especially if y'all come across new channels. I love finding out about new channels.
Me too.
Or if anyone wants a shout out that's a content creator, let me know. And let's see. Kelly saying she goes to Creative Grandma and learns to do new stitches all the time because she has so many Stitch of the Week tutorials.
Yeah, that she does.
See, one that I was told about recently by Cindy with Pups and Crochet is
Uh-huh.
the Allison Russell. She told me she has a lot of good tutorials.
Hmm. I'll have to go check that one out.
And Brenda's here. Hi, Brenda. How are you doing today? And what are you currently working on? Julie says this winter I'm going to practice the knit and purl stitches, and then I am going to really learn how to knit. Oh, awesome! I get so excited when people say that they're learning how to knit or gonna learn.
Yes. It's so much fun. I love knitting.
I do too. And like some people have trouble learning it, but I found knitting was easier to learn than crochet. I find it's more straightforward.
I guess it's a little different for me because I crocheted for so many years that when I picked it, I'm a continental knitter because I have crocheted for so many years. So I'm a continental knitter. And that just, my mom looks at it and she's like, you crochet back or you knit backwards. You knit weird. But she's in English. She's a thrower. So it's funny, but I found it easy once I figured out how to continental comfortably. But to use my right hand to throw that yarn,
But I think why I find knitting was easier to learn because, like, for me, learning crochet, what to do at the end of the row and starting in a new row, that that was something that when in my past failed attempt to learn to crochet, that I could not get.
huh?
And to me, knitting it's so easy because you get to that last stitch, you just turn it over and start again. Well, with crochet, it's like chain so many stitches, turn, skip so many stitches. And it's
Or
just like, what?
or making sure you catch that last stitch.
But whenever I finally learned to crochet, I had learned from Selena Baca, and she was
Oh.
really thorough.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like when she explained it, it made sense and it was easy to learn.
Mm-hmm.
But I find a lot of tutorials they gloss over that part.
Yeah.
They're not thorough enough when they teach it.
Right.
And it's like and that's where people struggle the most. At least,
Right.
what do you do at the end of the row and at the start of the new row?
Uh-huh.
And the fact that you also got to know how to recognize a stitch
Mm-hmm.
and count your stitches.
Absolutely.
And if you don't know what your stitch looks like and don't know to count them, that's going to mess you up too with crochet.
Yep.
Okay. Kelly says she loves Allison. Laura Lee says she was sick for a while. Oh, so awesome that you're doing better. She's drinking coffee, making a crochet onesie for new great granddaughter coming. Oh, congratulations!
Yay.
And Tracy's here. Hi, Tracy. She's working on clay charms for stitch markers at the moment.
Oh, cool.
Let's see. Bree saying she can cast on and knit, but don't have a clue when it comes to purl.
Oh.
Yeah. Purl's a little harder to catch on to because I find it's a little awkward how you holding everything, but just keep practicing and you'll get it.
Right.
I mean, even now, like I can do that knit stitch way faster than the purl stitch. And there
Yep.
is a way that you can like avoid doing the purl stitch.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause I think you do it like if you do it continental. I think it's a way. It's kind of like you do something where you're doing it backwards.
Well,
Or I've never done it before, so I don't know exactly how it works.
I was trying to think. I mean, with continental, you're still bringing the yarn forward for a purl stitch, but because it's all in one motion, it makes it really, really simple. Where if you're doing it the English style, you have to bring the yarn to the front, then put your needle through, then wrap the yarn, and then go through and pop that stitch off. Where continental, it's just back and forth.
But I know there is supposed to be a way that you can avoid doing the purl stitch.
I do it by going in the round.
But if you're doing something flat, then that don't work.
Right.
But that is one thing I do love about knitting in the round.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you do have to do the purl stitch though if you're doing the brim, like a
Yeah.
knit. But like once you get to like a base of a beanie that's done all in stockinette stitch, it's just all knits. Where if you were doing it flat, you would have to do knit on the front side, purl on the back side.
Yep. That's why I got these for doing socks. 9-inch circulars. Because you just go round and around and around and you don't have to fight with DPNs or the magic circle or anything. I love them.
See, that's how I did. Like I knitted my first pair of socks a few months ago, and I did mine on the 9-inch circulars. Now, when I got to the heel, I I had half of it on the circular, and the heel port I did with the two double pointed needles,
Mm-hmm.
and then once I got to the toe decreases, I did the magic loop method for that with the long one.
Mm-hmm. Do you do a heel flap or do you do German short rows?
The heel flap.
Okay. I do short rows.
But I've only done one pair of socks so far, so
There's plenty of time. You got all kinds of time to learn how to do all the different fun heels.
yeah. I heard like there's some methods that are a lot easier for
Mm-hmm.
the heel port.
Yeah.
And Kelly says she used to enjoy knitting, but I only have long, heavy needles and they hurt my hands. Oh,
Yeah.
I love my circular. And
Me
even when
too.
you're not knitting in the round, I normally use my circular needles.
Yeah.
And Kaylina says for her, crochet is easier than knitting, but she can read knitting patterns better than crochet patterns.
Hmm.
And that's one thing I find. Those that learn how to crochet first typically have a hard time learning knitting. Those that knit first have a hard time learning crochet.
Yep. Yep.
And I guess maybe it's because your mind is in that mindset,
Yes.
and that they're very different.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the one thing though I really don't like about knitting, it's hard to fix your mistakes.
I don't like live stitches.
Like crochet, is like okay.
Yep.
Well, with knitting, you gotta be careful you don't drop stitches, and one of these
Unless you're
days,
supposed unless you're supposed to in the pattern.
yeah, because there is a drop stitch where you actually
Mm-hmm.
are dropping stitches.
Yep.
But but like unless you use a lifeline, which one of these days I'll finally start doing that one day.
I don't.
But it's supposed to be a lot easier.
Mm-hmm.
Where if you have to tear out your work, you don't have to tear everything out, and then it kind of like keeps your loops from slipping.
Right.
Let's see. Laura Lee says she wished she learned Continental. She's still working on getting the hand coordination and tension comfortable and routine. Oh yeah. For those, if y'all haven't joined my Facebook group, I would love to have y'all. It's a real laid back group, not many rules. Just basically be nice to everybody.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And no spamming and that type of thing. But yeah, you can post crochet, knitting, yarn stuff, your pets. And Julie says she has a lot of practicing to do. Bree says a drop stitch is way easier than dropping one knitting.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's like the worst thing is when you drop that stitch.
I've done it numerous times. Not fun.
And you tend to do it more as a beginner
Mm-hmm.
because it's like you learn how to prevent them, but it still happens once in a while.
Yeah.
And let's yeah, Laura Lee saying you need to try the circulars. They make it nice. You're not fighting the needle. Yep.
Absolutely.
Circulars are awesome. And another thing with circulars, don't make the mistake I did when I first learned. Do not buy the cheapest set you can find. I mean, I got mine. I got mine from China, like the cheapest I could find.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm knitting, and where it connects to the needle, the like plastic for the
Mm-hmm.
cable started splitting.
I don't like when they grab the stitches and they don't slide. Ugh.
So like when it comes to the circulars, you really need to invest in a decent set.
Yes.
I got the Knit Picks, which is probably the most affordable decent set, and those run around 40. I think it was
I
40.
I have a couple of interchangeable sets and the acrylic interchangeable sets. And I've only had one needle break, and it was one of the smallest needles, the very small needle. And I have regular, circulars that aren't interchangeable, but I got my interchangeables, the Hobby Lobby brand, whatever they have as an interchangeable set. I love it personally.
Now, I do know some people have said, like, some of the, like, store brand ones that they've had good experiences with. But, but like I said, you don't want to skimp too much. You want to make sure that it looks like it's quality.
Yes.
And I know, like, usually people say the best circulars, or I'm probably going to say it wrong, but the Shigaroo, or how do you,
Chigu?
CHI? Yeah, I think that's how you say it.
Yeah, Chigu.
Yeah, those are supposed to be the best, but they're pricey.
Yeah, they are. They are, but they are nice.
Now, the ones I had to get for my socks, those are the how you say Shigo? How you say it?
The Chigu.
Yeah,
Chigo.
That's
Chigu.
it.
Yeah, Chigu. I didn't get them. I went to Webb's. Sarah Oliver from Sock TV. She used 9. That's how I found out about them, and she sent me to Webb's for finding mine, and they're called Zings, Knitter's Pride Zing. I like them. They zing all right.
Let's see, Ivy's here. Hi, Ivy. How are you today? And what are you working on? And Julie's saying the circulars are easier to work on. And and the thing is, and with knitting, if you do any big projects like shawls or blankets, you have to have the circular needles. They won't fit on regular needles. Or if you're doing like hats, well, hats you can knit flat. I don't like doing them flat because you got to sew that seam. You got to sew it, them together. To me, it's easier in the round. Yep. You don't have to bother with it.
Exactly.
Let's see. Crystal's here. Hi, Crystal. How are you today? And let's see, Brenda's doing okay. She's trying out dyeing with red onion skins. Ooh, interesting. I was hopeful with the color of the water yesterday, but now it's looking more brown than red. Oh well, it's an experience.
Yep. Usually natural purples turn brown.
And Brenda saying she likes short rows for heels better too.
Yes.
Yeah, the next time I do socks, I'm probably gonna try an easier method for the heels.
I don't know if you can see that, but that's a short row.
Ooh, neat.
I love them.
But yeah, I'm gonna have to play around and experiment. Kelly says I knit so many pairs of slippers when I was in 8th grade, but I don't know if I can do it today.
Sure you can.
I mean, it probably will take a little while to remember, but once you start doing it, it'll come back to you. Let's see, Cindy's here. Hi, Cindy. How are you today? Let's see.
Sweet
And Kelly says it's easier for her to read a knit pattern. See, I find they're both the same when it comes to reading them.
I can separate the two. I've come into certain circumstances where a prominent knitter has written a crochet pattern and it's written in knitting form. Like instead of chaining, it says cast on. And it takes my brain too long to figure it out. So it depends on the pattern for me and if it works here.
I know one thing, like whenever I write patterns, and this was something that, like, I have a tendency to make a mistake with, because you know how in crochet you call it rows, and in
Mhm.
knitting you call it rounds. Whenever I'd write my knitting patterns, I'd want to put row.
Well, I mean, if you're doing a crocheted hat, it's usually in the round. So, I mean, it depends. Are you going in the round?
But for these, I was. But to
Yeah.
me, it's I think row round. To me, it's like the same thing. Because when you get to that last stitch, to me, you're finishing a row,
Right. Yep.
regardless if it's in the round or
Yep.
not.
Yep. I design, but I do not write patterns. I have tried and it just don't work for me.
Laura Lee says she needs to learn how to put the lifeline in. I have to frog mine a lot. Yeah, and especially if you find that you have to undo your work a lot, it
Hmm.
really is best to use a lifeline. Because I know, like, whenever I had to tear out on my shawl, I wished I had used a lifeline.
I bet.
But I still don't learn. Kind of like with cross stitching. Because, like, whenever I learned how to cross stitch, I
Hmm.
just, did it on the fabric. I never heard of graphing your Ada cloth. I didn't find this out until like Facebook groups.
Huh.
And like, because I'll do like I think the like 5x5,
Uh-huh.
or it might be 10x10s that they do. But yeah, they'll like put threads across to make a graph, which it makes it easier to count your stitches.
Hmm.
But I'm so used to doing it how I learned.
Interesting.
But I may start trying to do that because it would be easier. Because when you miscount, it's a it's no fun having to fix your mistakes.
I can imagine.
Let's see, Diana's here. Hi, Diana. How are you doing today? Uh, Cindy can't stay. I hope you have a good day, Cindy. Mm.
Bye, Cindy.
So you saved and bought the Chigo. Like I said, I can't say that word. Pricey but worth it. I hate the cord that curls all over. Yeah, the cord does get in your way. Because I know, like right now on my shawl, because I don't have that many stitches on the needle, that
Hmm.
cord wants to like go all over.
Right.
Oh, you got a headache. I hope you feel better, Diana. Let's see,
No.
Amanda's here and Lisa. How are y'all doing today? And what's everyone currently working on? Yes. If y'all haven't checked out Spring's channel, please go check her out. Her link's right here. Crystal posted her link. And let's see. I need to get caught up on these comments. Brenda says she has many sets that are older that were given to her, but last year her husband got her the interchangeable Chigo set, and they are so nice compared to all the rest I have. Yeah, they everyone says they're the best.
Yeah.
And Crystal says she got the Zing 2.5 for her first pair of knitted socks. They work great. Bree says she thinks she'll just admire all the knitting while she hides behind her hooks. And Lorelai wants to know if anyone's dyed with beets for a red color or heard of it.
I have. I think it turns brown as well.
Yeah. It doesn't surprise me that beets can be used, though.
Yeah.
Because, like, when you cut a beet, that red wants to stain.
I did some wool in some pickled beet juice because you need vinegar usually anyway on wool. So I did take some, I actually did a little small test between some cotton that I had pre-soaked in salt water and then just the wool dumped into it, and the cotton didn't hold the color, and the wool did, but it wasn't red. It was more of a brown. But that was in pickle beet juice. That wasn't using just beets.
And Amanda says she's working on the scarves of some hat scarf set she's been commissioned to do. She has a question for us.
Okay.
So ask your question, Amanda. She may have asked it later on, but I haven't gotten there yet if you did. Kelly wants to get the Tunisian crochet hooks with the interchangeable cables. Me too. Eventually, I'm finally going to get them. And Crystal says, red beet juice turns a light brown after boiling. Was not what I expected either when I dyed yarn with beets.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Brenda's saying she used beet juice and kept the pink color, but she didn't heat it up. She used a jar and left the yarn and liquid in that and left it out in the sun for a few days. The yarn is still pink.
Very good.
Oh, and Kelly loves your top, Spring.
Cinnamon stitches. The yarn is hand spun by me. That's what's left
pretty.
of it.
Pretty.
I call it fruit stripes.
Amanda, ask your question. And Angela's here. Hi, Angela. How are you doing today? Laura Lee says that would be hard to cross stitch on cloth. Yeah, like the really like small, like 8 o'clock is harder. I like the 14 count. 14 count is my favorite to cross stitch on.
Interesting.
And Christina's here. She's working on a set of pumpkins. Hi, Christina. How are you today? And Chris is here too. And Brenda's saying she's considering trying again with red onion, but without heating, and just use the jar solar method and that she did with the beets. That should be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully it'll work out.
Yeah, I'd like to know how that turns out.
And Laura Lee saying the cord doesn't curl using the Chigo. I bet that pickled beet juice made it smell good, laughing out loud. Yeah, that would be nice, not having to deal with the cord curling with knitting.
Yes.
Okay, Amanda wants to know how much we would charge for a 6-inch by 6-foot loom knitted scarf. Now, one thing I was always told in Facebook groups that I'm in, that you usually charge 3 times the cost of the yarn for what you make.
To cover your expenses plus your labor. That's the standard. However, I find like where I'm in a very, very rural area, and if I sell locally, there's no way I would get that. No way possible. So it depends on where you're selling, whether you're selling online, whether you're selling, local, and depending on population.
And Jeannie, Mama G Bear, is here. How are you doing today?
I sent her earrings this morning.
But yeah, when it comes to selling, I'm not big on selling my work because it's like people typically don't want to pay what it's really, what it's worth.
Right.
I mean, now some people luck out and they do well with selling,
Right.
but a lot of times people don't. And I like the little bit I've sold. I don't enjoy making stuff to sell it.
Yeah.
I, I prefer to make what I want to make,
Right.
and I don't know, and I stress out too because I worry like, okay, what if they don't like what I made? What if I make a mistake and they're like, oh, look what you did right here.
I'm that way about my hand spun yarn. I've been asked about purchasing my yarn, and I'm like, I'm not a machine, so I'm afraid you're not going to like it.
Because I mean, some people will, and then some people will nitpick on things just so they can get something cheaper.
Right. Right.
So it's like I don't know. I worry about stuff like that, and especially if you deal with shipping.
Oh, yeah.
Because if there's an issue, then it's like you know you either got to refund their money and then you lost money on the shipping, or you got to remake it, send it again, and you're not making as much of a profit because you're paying for shipping twice.
Right. And
And
you don't want to sound like a used car lot and say as is.
and that's one of the reasons. I know someone told me that they've seen it where some people will say, no exchanges or refunds.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't feel right about that either because what if there is a legit problem? You know,
Right. Right.
you kind of want to stand by your work. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know, but that's why I'm not comfortable with. And the few times I have sold is to people I know.
Mm-hmm.
And Brenda says she'll post a picture of the pink yarn from Beats in my Facebook group.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead and post a picture of it. I think we're all curious. Lisa says she needs coffee. I do too. Oh, and yet yesterday Julie had me on her live,
Mm-hmm.
and it was at 7 o'clock in the morning. So I'm just like, after sleep. It was like after we were finished, I was like, oh, I need coffee. I need coffee now. Okay, Bree, this is for you, Spring.
Okay.
Bree says you dye your own yarn. Do you spin it before you dye it, and how do you spin on it? Spin on and I guess on a spinning wheel.
Um, well, I spin on different spinning wheels. Yes, I do dye before and after. I buy roving, sometimes bare roving, and will dye it beforehand if I'm going for something like fractal, where it kind of changes as it goes. Um, or I'm going for a certain colorway within my spin. Um, but then there's times that I'll spin it white like this and dye it later. Um, I have 3 different spinning wheels. I have one that is a family heirloom that is over 200-year-old flax spinning wheel that I it just came into my presence, and I spin on it. It's more of like a lace weight. And then I have my big Bumblebee double treadle spinning wheel, and I spin a lot of stuff on it. And then I have a small electric spinning wheel that I use for a lot of like single ply, and then I'll ply it on my bigger wheel. I hope that answered the question. I do lives on my page. I do lives where I'm spinning and chatting. And like this week, I think Thursday, I'm going to be plying on my spinning wheel for my spin and chat.
Awesome. Also, Crystal is saying, Brenda, go ahead and post your pictures on Crystal's Facebook group too of the yarn. And Inherited Stitches is here. Hi, Inherited. How are you today? And Jeannie says that she can't wait. Purple is her favorite color.
Those earrings.
And let's see. Oh, one thing I do want to mention to y'all, if y'all don't already know, my alien, I think most people know by now, my alien beanie is finally in my Ravelry store for sale. It's for $2.50. And I also have a giveaway going on for the pattern. And along with that, for content creators, if you post a video on your channel mentioning about my hat in my Ravelry store, and that I have a giveaway going on for it, I will enter you in a drawing to win all 4 of my patterns in my Ravelry store. And I'm going to have 3 winners for the content creators.
Wow.
So, and even if you're not interested in winning patterns, if you could still do a video, I would really appreciate it. It would mean a lot to me. So let's see, where was I? Amanda says she's even more confused.
I'm sorry.
But like I said, I've always been told 3 times the cost of the yarn. But that's what I would start with, and kind of negotiate from there.
Mm-hmm.
They may not want to pay that much. If you're willing to go down a little, then
right.
But I mean, that's up to you how you want to do it. And Chris says, yes, if you're gonna nitpick, go to nitpicks. But I like my nitpick needles.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this might help you, Amanda. Kelly's saying that Tiffany Hansen has an awesome video on what to charge for your items. Very informative.
She's cool.
Yeah. And actually, the first shawl that I crocheted was one of Tiffany Hansen's patterns.
Mm.
Jeannie saying that's when you have the coffee fit intravenously. Yeah, that would have been nice. And what was bad was, like, I was trying to get ready, so I didn't have time to make the coffee before going live. So it was like I didn't have it until I was done. I was so worried that like I would either sleep through my alarm or it would go off and I would fall back to sleep. Because it's like I used to get up between 6 and 7, but since the time changed, it shifted from between like 7 and 8 now.
Well, we're getting ready to switch again soon, so it's okay.
Maybe then I'll be back to 6 to 7.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, and Daigo just posted the link for how much, Tiffany Hanson's video on how much to charge.
Good.
Okay. Ooh. Jeannie's saying that she has the opportunity to buy a mint condition 1880s spinning wheel for $200.
Jump on it. If you want to spin, jump on it, because that's great. If you don't spin already, that's awesome.
Right. And even Crystal saying that's a good deal if it's in working condition.
Absolutely.
And Bree saying my grand had a colonial era. Sorry, I'm getting very tongue-tied. Spinning wheel upstairs. The only thing I couldn't play around, I have it in storage. Where would I find how to care for it? Maybe online if you Google it the right way.
The biggest thing is restoration as far as the wood itself. Older spinning wheels are designed to come completely apart. Taking it all down, breaking it completely down, and oiling it with a restoring oil like linseed oil is great, as well as there's others on the market for restoring. And some spinners recommend different kinds, but definitely getting a restoring oil on it. You clean it down really good with like baby wipes or just a damp rag, and then put restoring oil back on it, put it all back together. That's like the basic first step. And then you can kind of figure out what might need to be replaced. There is a guy called the Bobbin Boys, and you can find them on Facebook and on YouTube. They you send them the parts of the bobbins, or it's called the mother of all, where the bobbin holds. You can send them the parts that might need to be replaced, and they make new parts for it.
Let's see. Maribel's here. Hi, Maribel. How are you today? And Jeannie saying it's mint. Michael Cadoret from late 1800s. Ooh.
Wow. Nice. Very nice. Very nice.
Okay. Bree saying it's got a huge wheel. Linseed oil.
Yeah.
And Brenda says that's what I did. You fix up the 1970s Ashford traditional we rescued. Okay. So I'm going to move on to the next question.
Okay.
If you had $100 to spend on yarn, what type would you buy? I would go with some of the ice yarn, the sparkly ones that are like the multicolored and the sparkles. I've been wanting some of that yarn, and also I'd probably get some of the ice. I can't think of the name of it, but it's kind of like the Mary Maxim prism yarn, but like the ice that's like that, and probably some of the Mary Maxim prism yarns. I would get some like that. Probably some pretty hand-dyed soft yarn too. How about you, Spring?
Well, that's a hard one, because it would be a hard one between already hand-dyed or bare yarn to dye is probably the route I would go. And it would probably be like wool of the Andes or something like that for bare yarn to dye myself. But I also like to support other dyers, so it would probably also have to go towards somebody. Some of it would have to go towards hand-dyed yarn by somebody.
Really, I probably should have said if you had $500 to spend on your yarn instead of 100. Because when you start getting into hand dyed yarns, that $100 would go quick.
We're looking at foreskeins or hanks.
So let's make it 500. But basically, the point of the question is just, if you could buy whatever type of yarn you wanted to, what type would you buy?
Yeah, I guess I would throw in some, like you said, ice. I've never bought from Ice, and I've never bought from Mary Maxim or Hobium. I've bought from Hobie, but not Hobium. I probably would throw the 500 towards places that I've never purchased from. And that way I could try all the other yarns that everybody else has tried. And I'm like, ooh.
Actually, I did order a few of the ice yarns from Yarn Nut yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I always forget the name, the brand of it, but it's kind of the one's kind of like the Prism yarns.
Mm-hmm.
So once they come in, I'll be showing everybody. And actually, another that I would love to get when you brought up Hobie made me think of this is their Christmas sparkly yarn.
Mm.
That's another one. Oh, I love those. I remember when Bagwell Day had her giveaway with them. I was just like, oh, come on, let me win this one. Maybe one day I'll win one of her giveaways.
Maybe I'll win
You
one
never
too.
know. I think I would pass out from shock if I did.
Did you see the lady that posted the video of her hearing her name called out, seeing it? She was so excited.
Let's see. I thought I missed a comment. Maybe not. Okay. Crystal says she would buy lots from Hobie. Yeah, their sparkly yarns are beautiful there. Yeah, and actually, I wouldn't just buy the Christmas. I would buy other sparkly yarns. Bree says Hobie, Carnival, and Twister yarn. Ooh, nice. And Brenda's saying that the linseed oil or boiled linseed oil, another oil that's often recommended is Howard Feed and Wax.
That's the other one. I couldn't think of it offhand. I knew there was one that other spinners recommended. It was something wax, but I couldn't think of it.
And Julie's saying that how the ice yarn is awesome.
Yeah.
I love their sparkly ones. I'm always like drooling over it every time I look at them.
I want to try ice yarn, that's for sure.
And Kaylina says a lot of solid color acrylic, some boar yarn, so I do some more fun dyeing with my boys. Yeah, I would need some more solid color yarn too.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's a Picasso yarn. Thanks, Crystal. That's the one from Ice.
Okay.
And they also have the rockability ones too that are a lot like the Prism. I mean the Picasso that I like too. Laura Lee says I really want to try the Hobie Twister. I'll look at the Carnival. Yes, Kelly, we missed you. Welcome back. Crystal says, I love Hobie's horizon cakes. Now I'm curious how many people are going to go order yarn or buy yarn after this live. Be like, Connie's a bad influence on us.
I like Hobie sock yarn, personally. That's what I mainly buy from them is sock yarn.
And Brenda says she posted the beet juice in me and Crystal's groups.
Okay, cool.
Let's see. Bree saying ice yarn is awesome. Can we save that money and be in line for Hobby Lobby's clearance next year? That would be a dream. Yeah, that would too.
Right? I'd have to use some of it to go to a bigger Hobby Lobby.
And Julie says, I want Shonda yarn from Expression Fibers, Daniel the Paul Ply Guy's yarn, and well, I do have a list laughing out loud.
I have some of Shandi's. Yeah, how it said.
And Crystal says, you know, it's say that the question is if you had $500 to I can't talk today. If you had $500 to spend, what yarn would you buy and spend it on? And then even 500 might not be enough with all this yarn we're getting. We might have to make it 1,000.
Uh-huh.
And Kelly saying the carnival yarn is beautiful, and she also wants to try ice yarn. She loves the Picasso. It looks so pretty. Yeah, I like how it has that shine to it.
Yeah.
Bree says Picasso and Rock Store as well as Rockabilly. It's fantastic yarn, yeah.
Okay.
I think that. Chris says 2 hours later, if you had $500 billion, what yarn would you buy?
I think I would buy a few knitters and crocheters. I'd pay their salary and have them help me.
But if that was the case, Chris, we would all need like really big mansions to have
Right?
room for our yarn. Because I know the yarn would like take over my house for sure.
Right?
Let's see, Christina says Europe yarns and lots of cotton. I prefer working with cotton. However, Daniel does amazing work with his dyeing. Yeah,
Yes.
Daniel's also.
Yeah. He's got some beautiful dyeing skills there.
Everyone says that they would buy it all. Yeah, the yarn takes over our homes. I got 10 yarn rooms. Kelly says you could buy a house just for your yarn.
Right?
Brenda say, I don't know what yarn I would buy. I think something with sparkles. Yes, sparkles. I know what fiber I would like to buy though. Silk, bamboo, rose, merino, rambouillet, and Jacob.
Nice. Nice choices.
Bree says I'd buy yarn and run Hobby Lobby, etc. out of business. We would have hand dryers on site. Oh, I guess you mean hand dyers.
Hand dyers, yeah.
Laura Lee says a cabin in the mountains with a huge yarn and craft room. The other rooms could be small. I don't spend much time in them.
Yep.
And Chris says I've been eyeing the wool nettle yarn by Onion. We're gonna get in trouble with all this yarn. But I am curious if anyone buys yarn after this live is over with. Y'all gotta let me know.
Right? Comment on the replay. I want to know too.
Kelly says I would definitely get some wool because I never got to work with it before. All right.
Wow.
So you want to go ahead and ask the next question, Spring?
Sure. If looking at, the near future, your closest goal, not the future goal, but a close goal, what would your next goal in the fiber world be? For instance, mine would be to do a mosaic knitted Afghan throw, probably a throw, so I don't lose interest and walk away from it. But that's like my next goal, is to work on a mosaic knitted throw.
Awesome. Let's see. Diana just said she has to go. So I hope you have a good day, Diana.
Bye.
For me, my next goal is going to be a piglet Grafgan.
Ooh,
And
that sounds fun.
there actually is one that will get started before that, which is something I just recently decided I want to do. But I'm not going to get into detail on that. I'm going to save that for my Crochet Tuesday video for y'all to find out about.
Exciting.
And some of the ones that I talk to regularly on Facebook know what I'm plotting. But I think y'all are going to love this, and whenever it's finished, y'all will really, really love this one. You never know what I'm plotting up in here. Let's see. Bree says she shops every day. She can't buy every day, but I shop every day. Yeah, you look at yarn and it gets you in trouble. And then too, on top of who goes and buys yarn, I want to know who gets in trouble with their husbands and all for buying yarn. Bella, I'm sorry, not Bella. Christina says, I have been looking at some Premier Cotton, and this is just the reason to click the buy button. Yep, I'm a bad influence. Julie says, has anyone tried milk yarn or thistle yarn? I haven't. Have you, Spring?
No, I haven't. It is something I do want to try.
And Chris's next goal is to try to learn to knit again.
Well, that's a good goal.
Christina wants to learn more Tunisian stitches.
Cool.
Awesome. Yeah, I want to learn Tunisian crochet. That's another goal I have. Just don't know when yet. Julie says my next goal is knitting skill, like trying to be good at it. Can you repeat the question for Lauralee, Spring?
Yes. What is your closest next goal? Not future, not long-term goal, but your next goal in the fiber world. And mine is to knit a mosaic throw or Afghan.
Kelly says my next goal is to try my hand at amigurumi. You can make an alien amigurumi. Eventually, I will make a little alien amigurumi. He'll be my channel mascot.
Right?
Bree says I'm going to try adding beads to my shawls and making at least 100 of those alien beanies. 100? My little alien beanies are going to be everywhere. And Brenda says my next fiber goal that I don't see happening anytime soon would be to process flax well enough to spin.
That's a goal.
And Laura Lee says, I live too far away to shop at the stores. When I do go in one, it overwhelms me.
Wow.
You can also buy yarn online. Bree says, no husband, but my son-in-law gets all a little twisted as the boxes show up. And Brenda says, I don't get in trouble for spending money. I'm the one with the tight purse strings. My husband is the one who is always ordering something. Uh-oh, he's going to get in trouble with you. Laura Lee says, I want to crochet the Persian tile blanket. I have the yarn, but not the courage yet. Just do it, do it, do it.
Jump in.
Just do it. Brenda says, oops, I misheard the question. I guess my next fiber goal is to finish knitting fingers on my son's gloves.
Okay. I haven't done fingers, just thumbs.
Lisa says, to finish this king size blanket, I'm crocheting with peaches and cream. About 12 more rows to go. Ooh, you're almost there.
Bless you.
Peaches and cream sounds like it's such a pretty blanket color.
Mm-hmm.
And Kaylina says, crochet, be brave enough to start tutorials, knitting, just to keep learning and have fun.
Yeah.
And Chris says, I saw a linen from flax video from growing to yarn on YouTube a while back. Awesome. Okay, so the next question is, what are you planning to crochet and or knit for your for your next project? I keep getting tongue-tied today. For me, my next crochet project, there's going to be the peppermint blanket, and then the one that I'll be telling y'all about tomorrow. Then for knitting, I'm going to be doing another shawl, and it's going to be with the number one weighted yarn, that real pretty pink yarn that I won in Tracy Nicole's giveaway.
Ooh.
And it'll be my first time knitting a shawl using number one weighted yarn.
Wow.
And the only other time I used number one weighted yarn was my first pair of socks.
Oh, okay.
So how about you, Spring?
Well, right now I've been trying to eliminate my project bags because I have like a whole gazillion of them. And I'm going through every Friday on my podcast where I pull up just random 3 bags and have people vote on which one I'm going to work out of the next week. So I don't know whether it's crochet or knit. And that's where my focus and concentration has been, is completing these project bags. So whatever gets chose, whether it be knit or crochet, is what I'll be working on.
Let's see. Crystal needed more coffee.
Yeah.
Brenda says, it's quite a process, but I've been learning about it for the past few months. I hope to be able to grow some after we move.
That would be fun.
Now Chris is going to get a refill on the coffee. Let's see. Susan's here. Hi, Susan. How are you doing today? And let's see. I'm curious what everyone's next projects are going to be. And speaking of projects, if y'all have any finished projects, I'd love to see pictures of them. So y'all could send them to either my email or my Facebook group, And I'd love to put them in my next video too, or my upcoming videos. And let's see. Kaylina says my next crochet project is going to be Halloween bags for my boys and a shawl for someone. My next knitted is another dishcloth in different patterns. Ooh, nice.
Fantastic.
And Lisa says I just made some coffee with chocolate, peanut butter, and sweet cream mixed in. Ooh, that sounds interesting.
Ooh, that's like a extra special Reese cup.
Reese's.
Uh-huh.
Brenda says I keep forgetting to post what I have gotten done. I love seeing what everyone has been working on. Yeah, I love seeing what everyone works on too. But I haven't gotten many pictures lately though. It's like it comes in spurts. Sometimes
Yeah.
sometimes I get a lot of pictures posted and then other times. And I really wish I would like knitting. I wish I would have more people post knitting projects. But I know there's not as many knitters out there.
We're out there. We just have both hands busy.
But yeah, especially if you're knitters, I want to see some of y'all recent knitting projects. And let's see. I'm trying to think of other things I need to tell y'all about that's going on. Um, later, like I said earlier, later today, I should be receiving the giveaway package that I won from Melissa. So I'm going to be doing an unboxing video, and I'm really excited because I'm curious what she said. She's making it a mystery. Well, at least part of it. But she's like the majority of the yarn. She said that was going to be a mystery.
That's exciting. That's exciting.
And let's see. Then tomorrow's Crochet Tuesday. And like I said, I'm going to be telling y'all what I'm fixing to get into. And let's see. Brenda says I can post the gloves I'm knitting, but they are nowhere near done. Also, I'd love to see them. Laura Lee says my knitting is still in the beginner stage. I mostly frog them out. Oh, look who's here. It's Miguel. Hi, Miguel. How are you doing today? And Chris says I'll be knitting a sweater or kilt hose if I get knitting down, that is. Awesome.
That would be great.
Yeah, and for those that don't know, I have my alien beanie pattern giveaway going on. And on top of that, I'm doing a giveaway for content creators if they post a video about my alien beanie and also mention that I have a giveaway going on. And you can win all 4 of my patterns in my Ravelry store. And there will be 3 content creator winners for that. So, and then on top of that, I do still have my 700 subscriber giveaway going on. That ends. I think it's around the 5th that it ends. I have to check to make sure, but there's still plenty of time to enter that giveaway. I did that one for a month, and I'm giving away a $20 gift card. So if y'all haven't checked that giveaway out, do so. Let's see. Oh, Miguel's on his way to an appointment. He can only listen.
That's okay. We love you, Miguel. Thank you.
And Laura Lee says, And she saw Miguel's dishcloth giveaway. Nice. Okay. I think we'll do one more question, then we'll wrap things up. You want
Okay.
to ask the next question?
Sure. So I know there's a lot of back and forth on favorite colors to work with. Not necessarily your favorite color or the favorite color, that you like to use because of whatever reason, but what is your favorite color to work with that you feel suits you when you just randomly go in and grab a color? What would be your go-to color? Mine is brown.
I tend to gravitate towards either blues or pinks,
Blues or
and even
pinks.
even purples too. Now, one thing is, I know like a lot of people say they don't like working with black yarn, but I've never had an issue working with black yarn.
I like it.
But like I said, I know some people, they say black is hard to work with.
Depends on my lighting or if I have my glasses or contact lens.
And it was kind of funny the first time I knitted with black yarn, and I had posted a picture, and everyone was just like, "You're brave working with black yarn," and I'm just like, "Why?" And like, I didn't even know black yarn was a thing. I did, and everyone's like, "Black is so hard to work with," and it's like, "Oh, okay."
I find I knit with it better than crochet. I don't know.
But I mean, to me, it's like it's basically, I didn't find it was really a difference.
Right.
And let's see, Kelly saying green shades. Kaylina says hand dyed autumn colors. Ooh,
Yeah.
I know I've been eyeing some of those autumn colored hand dyed yarns lately. It's like Crystal says my go to is tealish colors, but do not have a lot of it. Lisa says black yarn makes the other colors pop.
Mm-hmm.
It really does. I've always liked black, especially like black and pink together. Chris says I love the earth tones, like the tones in the work hanging behind spring.
Thank you. That's mandala.
Laura Lee says browns and blues and cream like the ocean blankets. I love purple, but not, I guess, but haven't crocheted it up for some reason.
Hmm.
Brenda says grays.
Yeah.
Crystal says because they cannot see the stitches well, that's why they have trouble with it. Yeah, that's what I've heard, but I don't know. I didn't find it affected me.
That's great.
I I don't know. And let's see, Cindy's back. Hi, Cindy. And another thing with the black yarn too, I think like because I didn't even realize it was a thing, I didn't let it intimidate me. And like
Right.
because sometimes whenever like you hear something, then you start fearing it, and it kind of like messes with your head,
Mm-hmm.
where then you think it's going to be hard.
Right.
And Tracy says shades of brown and rust. I have a Joann's unboxing coming up on my channel on Saturday, and you'll understand what I mean. Laughing out loud. Yeah, I did that whenever I ordered Joann's. I did the red and red and green.
Hmm.
I loaded up on red and green for Christmas, and I think white too. But I also did that too because the peppermint blanket's going to be red and white that
Yeah.
I'm fixing to that I'm fixing to start. Laura Lee says, I can't see black to work with it either.
Yeah, it depends on a lot of things for me.
Lisa says, I crochet with all colors. A lot of people have had me make blankets with dark colors.
Yeah.
And Angela's back too. Crystal says, I guess too, it depends on how good your eyesight is. I don't have a problem with black yarn either. Yeah, eyesight could be a thing too.
Yeah. It definitely depends on whether I have glasses or my contact lens or lighting.
And then, like me, I'm kind of the opposite too. Because, like, if you tell me something's hard, then usually, like, it makes me want to be able to do it more.
Right.
But
Right.
don't tell me something's easy.
Right.
Because this is what happened to me in school. You would tell me something was easy, and, like, I would struggle with it.
Huh.
But tell me something's hard, and I'm like, okay, yes, let me dive into this.
I'll prove you wrong.
Cindy says, I'm crocheting with black now and had the frog 4 times. Aww. Angela saying black and white. I have enjoyed your live chat. Oh, thank you, Angela. Yeah, y'all make sure to go check out Spring's channel. Bye, Susan. You have a good day. Yeah, we're just about to wrap up. And Brenda says, I just like working with white. I tend to be a ragamuffin and stain anything that is white, no matter how careful I try to be. But other colors I don't stain or mess up for some reason. It's weird.
Mm-hmm.
And Chris says, I love your backdrop. You look like a yarn fairy popping out of the flowers to drop fiber fun times. Oh,
Thank you.
okay. So, do you have any last words you want to say before we say our goodbyes?
No, I appreciate you having me up. I've enjoyed my time here, and I'm going to have to go back in and check out who said check out this or check out that and go visit some people. But I really appreciate everybody coming, and I enjoyed this. Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Spring, and thank you for coming live with me.
Absolutely.
And I think I pretty much mentioned everything that I've wanted to mention today already.
Okay.
And I want to tell Isola hi. She just walked in. Yeah, we're fixing to go, Isola. But yeah, like I said, I should be doing an unboxing video later today. Oh, one thing I do want to mention, even though these people aren't here, but just in case they watch on replay, I still need to hear from these people that won prizes on my last live. Colleen S, Deneen Horrible, hopefully I'm saying your last name right, Deneen, and Vicky Rains. I need to hear from y'all so we can get y'all prizes out to y'all. And I'm also going to be mentioning it in my video that I filmed today too. So yes, please email me so we can get your prizes out. But anyway, I hope everybody is having a fabulous Yorny day. Be the light and bye.
Bye.